Welcome to Mystic Underground. On this episode, we'll be doing a nighttime investigation at Dead Man's Curve, a section of US 12 that not only causes 4 to 5 fatal accidents per year, but the curve itself was built upon Native American burial grounds. Isaac and Eleanor Powers, first land patentees of Cambridge Township, had reported uncovering various human remains while building their cabin, hotel, roadways, and other facilities, henceforth providing the opportunity for more travelers to settle there and disturbing even more ground. Road construction began in front of Siam School in 1923, when workers unearthed 9 Potawatomi Native Americans, 8 being directly beneath the road. Sylvester Marr kept the remains at his homestead, showing them off to tourists like they were pieces of his art collection. The Daily Telegram reported that the remains had been picked over by curious and unscrupulous souvenir hunters. By the time a head scientist and archaeologist arrived from the University of Michigan, only 1 skull remained. It took until May 1925, 2 years later, for the remaining bones to be reburied beneath the cairn at Walker Tavern. But by 1960, the cairn's stone pile had mostly collapsed, showing that the upkeep of the new burial site was insufficient and sparse. The Michigan State Historic Preservation's Office reported that the remains had yet again been unearthed and cataloged in the 1990s. The remains were originally said to be buried between 1760 and 1810 in a spot now known as Dead Man's Curve. Ultimately, a sacred burial was destroyed. Found remnants were mishandled, exhibited, and sold. I can only imagine the potential unrest and lack of peace brought on by this disaster. We wanted to further expose this story and investigate to see if any spirits or residual energy have been left behind. Stalker Investigations is bringing the search to the sacred. Before we head out to this infamous road, I wanted to point out that Walker Tavern has had many changes of ownership since the burial in 1925. Currently, new owners run a very popular and lucrative business next door. Also to note, the owners during that time period actually volunteered to have the burial on their property. So amidst all the dark, there was also some light. Basically, don't associate any current owners with something that happened many decades ago. Our goal is to tell history and to investigate, not to defame innocent businesses. I did reach out to the current owners to see if they'd let us film the monument and gravesite as it presently stands, but sadly, they never replied. This is Mystic Underground, where we examine all things paranormal and historic. It's beautiful, isn't it? I'm sure that's what the Potawatomi Native Americans thought when they buried their loved ones here, not knowing that centuries later, new settlers would come in that would unearth and desecrate their ancestors' remains. The only ones that might get mad about this story are the few white locals who want to bury this past. No pun intended. But this story will remain and will be told again and again by people like me. I'll always report what I think is important and what I know deep down is right.
This is the road where 8 of the 9 Potawatomi natives were exhumed in order to continue construction. This was sacred ground which should have been honored and protected, but instead it was disgraced and sullied.
Pulling up to Dead Man's Curve. Alright, so we actually wore a few more layers tonight. Also want to be more incognito since we're on a main road. Yeah, don't worry folks, I'm still packing. I just don't have my holster and my main handgun. I got my backup. But you never know when you're out here, you know. We could deal with anything. It's not for ghosts or spirits, obviously. But when you're out in weird places overnight, you never know what you're going to deal with. From crazy people to getting attacked by something. Chances are very unlikely, but I'd rather have it and not need it, right?
Yep. You got some new equipment to show off?
Yeah, I'm busting out night vision binoculars. I'm going to get some cool videos of the lake and just this whole area. It reaches out a lot farther than this night vision camera. If you turn off the IR, I'm wondering, like, you should see the grass. So this is through my night vision binoculars. It's a little hard to tell, but I'll be getting some cool videos with it anyways. Yeah, it washes it out just because it's so bright.
Oh no.
Oh, it's in my shoe. It's in my shoe. I couldn't see it, man. It's so dark out here.
It's pitch black.
Alright, I'm turning this off. I just got a shoe full of
Shoe full of ice water?
I just got a shoe full of water and mud.
Great.
Oh well, part of the hunt, right?
Yep.
Is it filming?
Yeah.
You dirty rat. My sock's soaked. It is what it is.
Yep.
That was ridiculous.
Hey. Casualties.
Casualties of investigation. So we're here at Allen's Lake. Dead Man's Curve is about 150 yards that way. We're going to be doing an investigation down here by the lake shore, and then we're going to be going onto the curve itself. So in the 1700s, Potawatomi Native Americans, they did burials all around this lake. All their ancestors are here. And then pioneers came through about 100 years later and built roads and houses and just destroyed a lot of that sacred ground. So that's the story we're telling. That's why we're here. We're going to start the investigation here and then go up onto the curve. Doing some shots of the lake. Dude can't hear. Always got to have his pretty mug in it. See, I'll even do my truck. Wow, you can see a lot of heat coming off my truck over there. Godzilla. Gotta have Godzilla in a couple shots. Selfie style. We'll see if that turns out. Doing a couple selfies. Yo! I don't know if that'll work, but that's funny, man.
That's awesome.
Gotta make these episodes interesting, right?
Yep. We got EMF and a tape recorder. So I'm gonna turn on the EMF to see if we get anything.
We are recording. You might be able to see it in the lens just a little bit. We got the recorder going as well.
Are any members of the Potawatomi tribe here with us tonight? Any member of the Native Americans whose burials was disturbed here with us?
Do you have any ancestors still here in Lenawee County?
Are you angry that your burial was disturbed and desecrated?
Can you tell us how many of you were buried here? One thing that always seems to pick up something. Are there any spirits here with us tonight?
Nothing.
That set it off at the last two places when I said that, you know? Trestle Bridge and the train tracks. We come to tell your story. We come as friends. We're sorry what happened to your remains and your ancestors. Can you tell us how long you were buried beneath the road before they did the construction there? Can you tell us the name of the property where you were reburied? Could you tell us the name of the man that was selling your remains to souvenir hunters? So, just here is the road for Dead Man's Curve. There's still a lot of traffic coming through here, back and forth, even though it's late. So we're gonna just go just up the shoulder here. We're gonna get on the other side of the guardrail just to be on the safe side. We're not wanting to cause any harm, any accidents, or do anything stupid. So we'll be smart about it. We'll make it quick, and then we'll head on our way. So here we are on Dead Man's Curve. Are there any spirits that dwell on this lake and at Dead Man's Curve? Kent still has the EMF going.
Still green.
Still green. I can actually show him. See if it goes off. We're sorry what happened to your ancestors. We're sorry that your burials were desecrated and destroyed and unearthed, and that your remains were not properly handled. Your ancestors should have been more respected. We're sorry that you had to wait 3 years to get a proper burial. Just know we're trying to get out your story, trying to tell others about what happened, and possibly even pass this on to some of your ancestors who might not know this story. Okay, car from that way. head back to base. We'll see if we got any EVPs. It didn't go off. It stayed green the whole time. Hopefully their spirits are at peace, and we'll talk to you there. Alright, so we're back after we got that EMF that we didn't see here before. We wanted to come back and see if we picked anything up. Can you tell us how long you've been here? Can you tell us what year your remains were unearthed? Or what year you were reburied? Can you tell me the name of this curve? What state are we in?
Car.
What county?
Car.
Do you know what this lake is called? Alright, that's it. We didn't catch any EMFs today, but we're going to check this recorder and we'll show you if we can pick anything up. As you can see, 19 degrees out. So we did that just for you guys, our viewers. 19 degrees of freezing our butts off. You're welcome. Well, we went back out one more time. We did our best. It's bitter cold today, but after the recorder got wiped out for no reason, and after we picked up the EMFs, we wanted to go out one more time and see if we pick anything up for our viewers. Hope I get something for you. This is a tradition we do after every investigation that could potentially deal with hauntings. We just want to make sure that nothing follows us home. We want spirits to stay where they are. Can you tell us what year your remains were unearthed? Or what year you were reburied? Can you tell us what year your remains were unearthed? Or what year you were reburied? Can you tell us what year your remains were unearthed? Or what year you were reburied? Alright, so I'm here with Kent. This will be his last episode for a while. He's going back to California. It's been awesome having him here, and I'm sure we'll have him back for some in the summer, probably, when he visits again. So we'll see, but I got some questions for him. As you'll see, anytime I interview anybody on this channel, it'll be non-scripted. They won't know the questions ahead of time. I wanted to do the same with Kent. Wanted to throw some questions at him about his experiences and go from there. So, all right, Ken, you ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, the first question is, how has this overall experience been for you? How did you like going on investigations?
Overall, the experience is pretty amazing. Definitely something new. Not something I do, back home at all. It's been actually pretty good, interesting seeing the sights of Michigan, of all places.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely change of pace, change of scenery. But pretty beautiful country out here, even in the cold start of winter.
Oh yeah, freezing.
Freezing. But it's been worth it. Definitely an experience to remember.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, it's been awesome having you, dude.
Yeah, it's been awesome.
So were you ever freaked out or scared out there?
I would say mostly freaked out, especially after the first investigation at the Trestle Bridge. It was pitch black, dead quiet. The only sounds was us, and that was a little bit unnerving.
Yeah.
To just be in the middle, desolate in the middle of nowhere. That was pretty intense.
I think the weirdest part for me was the first time when I'm walking up, it's pitch black.
Yeah.
You could see me in the night vision.
Yeah.
I couldn't see a thing.
Yeah, the only thing, I was lucky that I at least had some sort of guiding light that I could see like, okay, I'm not by myself. So that was actually calmed you down a little bit.
It was kind of cool that first time when I couldn't see anything, and I'm just like, this is interesting. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, it was really cool to get your adrenaline running.
If there was something there, I wouldn't have seen it.
No, we wouldn't have.
You would have behind me and be like, hey, there's something right there in front of you, some kind of creature or something.
It'd be too little too late, I think.
Yeah. It makes it interesting when you're out there, though.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. What do you think the coolest moment on each of the investigations were? And pick your favorite for all three. Favorite moment for each.
The coolest part of each investigation, I would think, actually getting some responses off the EMF.
Yeah.
Not something that you only see on TV, other shows, but us actually being out there and actually having a response to our questions.
Yeah.
For the train wreck, was actually some of those EVP things that we've got. And
the weird sounds.
Yeah, the weird sounds of what we know being out there that night was dead quiet. I mean, no wind, nothing like that. So having sounds that didn't come from us, not from our shoes, nothing like that, that was pretty
Yeah, it is interesting because when we were out there, it was like this. Just
nothing
maybe a little breeze sound every now and then, but other than that, dead. So it's pretty cool to pick something up when we couldn't hear it at all ahead of time. So.
And then maybe the funniest thing for Dead Man's Curve was just maybe avoiding the cars, having to kind of crouch and hide and try not to cause accidents,
definitely.
Add to the death toll of the road.
Yeah, imagine we're on the side of the road. We don't want a car to see all of a sudden these two guys right there, and be like, swerve or like slide on the ice, you know. So we had to be real careful with that, and
it was bitter cold out there.
Yeah, we were smart. We were smart with it. We definitely didn't want to do anything wrong or cause an accident. So we thought of all that ahead of time and made sure we did it right. So, all right, I wrote down a couple of mine. One thing some people didn't see was the orb that we caught after for episode 1.
Yeah,
thought that was really cool. Basically, it comes right out of my hip. It's not like a bug that was flying behind me or in front of me. It literally appears in the next frame from my hip, and it was after the EMFs were going off for a while. So I thought that was really cool. The other thing is it flies up, and it's see-through completely. So there's no like there's no bug body or anything that you can see.
No wings you can see flapping.
Yeah, it was just interesting.
Doubtful any bugs are out there at 20 degrees.
Yeah, it's 20 degrees out. So how many bugs you got flying around out there? Yeah. So that kind of debunked any bug possibilities.
Yeah, exactly.
But, so that was for the first one. I really like that flash in the window we caught.
That was a little bit spooky.
Episode 2, yeah, that's pretty sweet.
When we were reviewing the tape, that was probably more scary than anything.
Especially, it's weird because it wasn't moving with it wasn't moving past the car. Yeah. It stayed with the car. It was a quick flash right along the window.
Yeah, and I know remembering that scene when we were filming in the car, nothing you could see in the window. There was only something that we only saw reviewing the tape. Yeah,
and then even that sign, how we were talking about, kind of appeared halfway on the window and then went past. So even when that went past, it didn't go by the whole window. It started halfway
through, and that was really unexpected.
So that was still weird. We didn't bring that up in the episode because we're not trying to reach for stuff, overreach, and be like, oh, that could have been something. Yeah. We're trying to be real with everybody, and but we put the flash, and then that sign looked kind of weird, and it was definitely strange.
No, it was definitely strange.
Because even if you're going 5 miles per hour,
you would still see
and something's going by, it'd still slowly be moving.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
The flash wouldn't be dead center and not moving
and pacing you at all.
Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
That was very interesting.
One other thing that I wanted to mention about episode 2, Denny at the cemetery was super cool, great guy, very helpful. You don't always get that with these kind of things. Sometimes you get doors kind of slammed in your face, but Denny was like, I'm so glad you're telling the history. Come out, you guys are respectful. I believe you'll do it right. You'll tell the history right. Mm-hmm. So Denny was really cool, and when you deal with that kind of stuff and those kind of people, it makes this a lot of fun. Yeah. And so I just wanted to mention that. I thought that was a really cool thing. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Also, for me, just learning the history of the second and third episodes was awesome. It's very dark and it's sad. It's super sad and tragic, but just knowing about that history and getting it out there to people is something I think any creator should do. If you can get stories out that people need to hear and of tragic accidents and things like that, learning about that history, studying it, researching, it's a big part of this, and I enjoy doing that.
Just adding on to him, it was more of those 2 incidents I had completely no knowledge about. Yeah. And so doing the research about it, like he was saying, a little bit sad and dark, but it was something that we feel that had to be told, something that information and history like that should be much more well known and talked about.
Yeah, and some people might be like, hey, this episode's kind of serious. Well, it's going to be serious. You're talking about tragedy, you're talking about death. We're not going to be joyous or whatever with that kind of
that's
episode.
Not possible.
Yeah, we're going to tell it like it is. We're going to tell it dark because it is a dark story. So that's how we're going to bring it to people. We're going to be real about it. We're going to try to find as much truth to the story as we can. And, we would debunk stuff ourselves if there's a history that's fake. We would try to anyways. Yeah. And so we try to find all the truth, get it out there. We look at a lot of news sources before we actually go over the story and report to you guys. So we try to bring it real, and we do the best we can with all the knowledge and information online and eyewitnesses and that kind of stuff. So, all right. Were these the coldest temperatures you've ever went out in at night?
Yeah, I mean, even in the past, going to like say a ski resort or something like that, 40s.
Well, you don't usually go out at night either.
Yeah, you don't go out at night. You go down in the daytime when the sun kind of warms you up a little bit. But this is cold beyond anything I've ever experienced. It's definitely something to remember. Like, no matter how many layers you have, it still goes through every single one, and it gets you to the bone.
So we actually went out Christmas Day like a bunch of idiots. And I think it was like 19 or something.
19, snow flurries, windy as heck.
So we went out on Dead Man's Curve again because we picked something up at the end, and we wanted to, do our due diligence and try to see if we picked anything up. It was like 19 degrees. It's night. I couldn't feel my fingers at all. They literally hurt afterwards. Yeah. My fingers were just in pain. Yeah. It took like 10 minutes in the car to thaw them out.
Yeah, just even start moving them.
A little bit of frostbite probably.
Probably started too.
It was pretty wild, but
it was really crazy.
We had a good time doing it.
It was so fun, though.
Even when we were freezing.
Yeah.
That's Are you looking forward to coming back to be in future episodes in the summer?
Yeah, definitely. Mostly because of the warmer weather.
Oh, yeah.
The scenery will be much nicer with leaves on the trees and stuff. But yeah, definitely see what else this channel will bring. Some exciting things.
Yeah,
stories.
It'll be so much different when we have summertime where we can do hours and hours and hours out there. We picked up some of this stuff in 20, 30 minutes at a time. So, I mean, to pick up anything in that short of amount of time is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really impressive.
I feel like we were attracting stuff really quickly. And, this wasn't an overnight investigation like you see on a lot of the online TV shows, We're not faking anything. It's all real. So if you're picking something up in 20 minutes out there, that's pretty good. I'd say that's beating out a lot of shows that are out there for 10 hours just to get something.
Yeah, we weren't grasping for straws for any of this.
No, not at all. This is all legit stuff. We're posting what we see, and that's it. Yep. We're not BSing nobody.
Exactly.
For those that don't know, Kent was the one throwing the book at my face from off the screen. He seemed to enjoy it a little too much. There was some sick laughter in the background.
That's why I was like extra takes. I requested extra takes.
Yeah. He's like, why don't we do a few more? And I'm like, dude, we're good. You just hit me like 5 times.
Yeah. That was probably one of the most enjoyable parts.
Oh, yeah. People enjoy pain. Hey, seeing others in pain. Sadly, it's pretty sickening, but no, we had fun filming that. It was just a kind of a fun gag promo that we wanted to do.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. Even though we had to be like spidery crawl space, but it was worth it.
Yeah, there was like spiders in the crawl space, like getting on Kent.
Yeah,
and I wore that crazy wig.
It definitely suited you.
Looking like the Tiger King. Oh man, it's crazy.
Definitely suited you pretty well.
Well, anyways, that's it for the questions. I wanted to do something really cool with Kent. I also want Michelle. I'm going to have her come in. He is the first crew on my show with me, so he is going to sign the wall behind me between all these crazy weapons I got up.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have him sign a book here as part of Night Stalker crew and production team. So anybody who's involved in my channel who's going to be on it,
awesome.
I want them to sign this and sign the wall, and then people, when they watch and tune in, they'll see that for the remainder of the show as long as we're doing this.
Awesome.
So. I'm going to miss you.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I look forward to having you back.
What an awesome ride.
All right, so Kent, go ahead and come on. And
awesome.
Here's the marker, so sign the wall first.
I feel so honored.
There it is. All right, so Michelle, go ahead and come over here too.
All right, anywhere?
Yep, anywhere. Michelle helped us a ton with different video shots. She'd help hold the camera. She'd get a lot of promo pics. She helped tremendously for all this stuff, so we really appreciated all of it. Look at them purdy signatures. I appreciate you guys. Have a safe trip home. Oh, you're still here? If you're in Michigan or Ohio and have something paranormal for us to investigate, shoot me a message at the email below. And until the next video drops, see you on the next one. You guys hear that? Sometimes a book's so good it hits you right in the face. Oh, that would hurt, man. That was the hard side.
Shoot, sorry.